Well, hello, everybody. This is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, with keto, carnivore, and carnivish ways of eating. And sometimes we're all a little bit of each, right? And so we meet here every couple of days and discuss what's going on in our life, some barriers, some nice, easy flowing things that have happened to us, how we've tweaked our food plan, how we want to tweak our food plan, how we learn how to tweak our food plan. Did I say it enough ways? Yeah. And so we just talk food here, what it does for us, to us, and the whys, right? And sometimes we add in emotional stuff. Because emotional stuff, well, I didn't get to the weight that I weighed because I, had easygoing emotions. I never, I never, gave up a reason not to enjoy an emotional eating binge, social anxiety, eating binge, all of that sort of stuff. And so today I'm talking about summer sabotage. Summer sabotage. I have said since I began the low carb, high fat keto lifestyle that summers are the toughest time of all. Pick your battles, choose your foods, stay accountable to yourself, maybe somebody else, maybe you have a food coach, maybe I'm your food coach, and you go along day by day. Some of us get a little sloppy in the summer because there's so many reasons to have a summer festival outside that includes all those standard favorites. Some of them are, under ice or kept refrigerated until it's time to eat, to go along with burgers and hot dogs and steak and chicken and pork chops and blah, blah, blah on the grill. And those are the dangerous places, right? Those chilled, starchy things that people bring that you're used to that don't seem like summer without it. Even the fresh picked sort of vegetables that, how harmless can it be? It can be harmless. And then it can be the slippery slope, all that butter that you put on it, right to a binge, a huge sabotage, a huge setback on what you're doing with your foods. And you don't intend to. You think that, well, this will work, right? But then you find, oh, I kind of screwed up, didn't I? Because if you're into it for 1, 2, 3 days, 1, 2, 3 meals, you could find that it's so hard to get back on track. How do I know? The same way that all the other people know about sabotage and, best plans gone awry. We all do them, we all make them, and I talk about it all the time, but I think that summer is the hardest, especially this summer where we've been cooped up, for 3 or 4 months and no socializing. It's been cold, it's been yucky, all the reasons that we have before the pandemic. And now here we are, and we're trying to get back into some sort of summer, capturing what we can. Sure, there's not a lot of activities or events that we can go to. So picnics, cookouts, barbecues, get-togethers, reunions all seem to want to happen, right? And if you're lucky and you have a lot of relatives or friends or neighbors or people that like to plan those sort of things, you could have 2 or 3 or 4 of those things every single week. And that could spell sabotage. It could spell disaster for your nice, strict, and disciplined food plan. Because you look at something and say, well. And I think all of us have learned the hard way, through extra pounds, through those cute little white pants, suddenly having a visible panty line. Suddenly you have to wear the top over the pants. There's nothing cute about it, right? And so we all fall into that place where it stopped working because we stopped working it. We made the choices to stop working it. We don't want to do that. I don't want to see you guys lose your pace, your consistency, your momentum, everything else. More and more I'm seeing these videos where it's like, Hi, guys. Sorry I haven't been here for a few months, but I've been busy with anything and not doing my videos. And it's like, is that a euphemism for I stopped doing my food plan and I gained weight? And now that I'm kind of getting back to it, I can talk about it again. But when I was on that downward slope with no branches or twigs to grab onto, I just right down. Well, that's not an example. That's tough. And it's like you feel bad for them, but it's like, hey, not that you're looking to them to never fail, but we are all human. And sometimes the people that are our mentors, our examples, our powers, even the person that's getting money out of our purse, suddenly they've gone human on us and stopped making videos. They're kind of apologetic, or they're going to start a different program. And I've seen that with so many when I've been here for 6 or 7 years, and I've been watching people and how they change and adapt and give up and take on. And really, it's because something happened that sabotaged that nice, steady, disciplined and structured momentum that you were having. And suddenly it got a few cracks in it. And instead of, pulling it back together before the noticeable changes happened, you just let it go. And that's called summer sabotage, right? There's always, you don't think people aren't going to have all of these summer cookouts, barbecues, et cetera, parties without goodies, right? That has become, isn't that typically American when you go to somebody's house to have a party or a cookout or a reunion, or even, to a place that's open and like wedding reception or baby shower or something like that. And what is it? It's all the goodies, right? Because we as a nation have come to expect to give ourselves all the sugary, all the sugary end of the meal sort of things. And then if that's not enough, a lot of our meal times, the regular entree part, has sugar added now. Now, yes, you can go to the grocery store and you can pick up an item and we'll say it was sugars added. And so you'll look at something and you'll see that not only is it sweet to begin with, but that they went and added sugars. What does adding sugars means? Well, hopefully it's not a chemical, but it could be just the white sugar that you're used to, and they add that to it to make it even more sweet. Right? I was just listening to an ad. I remember where I was. I was rounding the rotary by the airport here in Hyannis, and it's a restaurant. I know there's a Wendy's right there on the rotary. I don't think it was a Wendy's, but it was another restaurant that adds this creamy little topping of sugar to your coffee now. And I made a note to myself to go to that website of that franchise and see how many carbs of sugar that has. That little creamy topping. How innocent it sounds. Well, you and I both know what creamy topping means. It means that we take that creamy topping container out of the fridge that was in the freezer, but we took it out to put on a fruit salad, and suddenly we've spooned the thing, gone. Like we can do with peanut butters or nut butters of any kind, or even honey or butter. It's all out there for us to partake in, and we have to just be careful. This isn't an easy time. There are so many reasons, and a lot of us get that taste of sweet back in our mouths after not having it in the other months for some reason. And yeah, that's how it could begin. We just start getting used to the sweet again, and the trapdoor opens, and we fall into a sweetness of fruits maybe at these get-togethers, and then the next trapdoor opens, and it's the sweet of desserts with the added white sugar items that we're all familiar with, even down to the barbecue sauce, A lot of people love their ribs and their chicken done on the grill, but they're taking one of those jars of sauces off the shelves at the grocery store, and the carbs in them are tremendous. And it makes it a very delicious item to have, but it's all the sugar in the, that's going to be on the coating or on the skin. And it's like, there we are. We're starting to get used to it again. And suddenly we aim for a sweet tea that's made with the fake sugar. Yep, I got that going. And so, all these things kind of, they say look out for the carb creep, but look out for the sweet creep, because it kind of comes into those foods, seems like a good idea, seems 100% controllable, but alas, it's not. So you need to be careful, because summer brings on sweetness creeps and carb creeps. And they start in innocent ways, at least for me. It starts with fruit. And then it moves on to a sweet treat, maybe a ketofoid type treat, or maybe a full-out sugar treat, right? There you are. You're standing in front of the frozen novelty section, and you're looking at the sugar-free, low-carb, blah, 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 but low-fat, all these frozen novelties, and they start looking good, and you think you've got a space in your freezer that you could plop that and then have one and then be safe. I saw one for candy that people like to have frozen, and they're making them thinner now, so you think that you can eat one because it's less sugar, less calories, less carbs, less whatever. And it fools you into thinking, and it reintroduces the sweet into your system, just like with some of those ketofied items that reintroduce the carby taste into your food plan. And so you have to be careful at these cookouts and these events, because it's a minefield, and you have to be very safe and very sure of what it is that you do for yourself and to keep it up. Because if you lose your where you're standing, you lose your footage, and suddenly it's just a slow creep, a slow going down, through the trap door, through the next trap door, and suddenly there you are, having something that rhymes with door, and it includes 3 items, right? You know what I'm talking about for dessert associated with cookouts. So be careful, because you want to be safe. You don't want to put on pounds. Those white pants are starting to look good. Why would you sabotage yourself? Because we're human, because it's there, because it is calling us on a megaphone, and the megaphone is right here saying, have me, have half of me, or have a bite of me, have a bite off somebody else's plate. It's okay. It won't hurt you. You can get away with it. Are we here because we couldn't get away with it? We are. So be safe, my friends, my pickles, my snowflakes, my Goldilocks, my no matter what club members. We're all here for the same reason. We need another day of consistency and structure, and we need to be accountable to somebody, even if you're just looking at me on the screen saying, I'm watching this today. I was naughty yesterday, but I'm watching today because I'm hopping back on, because I understand that even losing one day could be the beginning of that slippage, sabotage, down, down, down. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you here the next time. Bye-bye for now.